Dear viewers, welcome to our international news broadcast. Today we present to you a long and comprehensive analysis of the weather fluctuations that are and will be unfolding across the United States over the next 10 days. According to the latest observations from major meteorological centers, the U.S. is entering an especially complex weather phase, where storm systems, low-pressure troughs, and large-scale cold air masses continuously appear, interact, and generate a series of extreme phenomena. The combination of these factors not only brings storms to the south and snow and cold winds to the north, but also paves the way for a strong Arctic air outbreak, arriving right during Thanksgiving week, one of the busiest travel periods of the year for the American people. At present, the main focus is a large-scale storm currently located over the desert Southwest, stretching from Arizona and New Mexico to eastern California and southern Nevada. This system formed under the influence of a deep, low-pressure trough, pulling a massive amount of moisture from the Pacific, causing skies across many southwestern states to be covered with dense clouds, long-lasting rainfall, and early signs of water flowing over major roadways. Over the next 24 to 36 hours, this system will continue moving east and southeast, entering Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. This is the time to be especially cautious, as Texas, Oklahoma is expected to experience the most dangerous weather patterns of this storm cycle. Forecast models indicate the potential for wind gusts of 60-70 miles per hour, hail the size of coins or larger, along with the possibility of isolated tornadoes, particularly in the late afternoon and evening, when moist air and low-level wind shear create favorable conditions for rotating thunderstorms. In addition, heavy and persistent rainfall may cause localized flooding in major urban areas of Texas, including Dallas-Fort Worth, where the drainage system is often under pressure during long-lasting rain events. While the South is dealing with storms, the Mid-Atlantic region, including Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and nearby states, is seeing a weak, low-pressure trough sliding through, producing thick cloud cover, light rain, and the occasional small thunderstorm in the late afternoon. Yesterday, Kentucky and Missouri recorded a tornado warning, although it did not develop into a major extreme event. However, the appearance of such small vortices indicates that the atmosphere in the region is becoming more unstable, especially with stronger systems expected to arrive next week. In the north, the Great Lakes and upper Midwest currently have relatively calm weather, but this calm will soon end. A cold air mass from Canada is preparing to descend, bringing strong winds, chilly rain, and the potential for light snow in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and North Dakota. Forecasts show snow may begin falling from Tuesday night into Wednesday next week, with expected totals from 1 to 3 inches, enough to create slippery roads and affect intrastate travel. Meanwhile, Pacific Coast states such as California and Oregon are not yet significantly affected by this storm. However, Southern California may still face scattered showers, and the Sierra Nevada mountains could receive a light layer of snow as a weak cold surge combines with Pacific moisture. High mountain passes should be monitored closely, as roads may become slippery due to wet snow, particularly during nighttime and early morning hours. The key point of today's report is the arrival of a strong Arctic air outbreak, an intrusion expected to completely transform U.S. weather from mid to late next week, coinciding with peak travel time for Thanksgiving. Analyses from GFS, ECMWF, and Canadian models all indicate that from Wednesday evening to Thursday morning next week, the polar jet stream will dip to lower latitudes, dragging a deep, cold air mass directly into the central United States. This cold air mass formed from extremely low-temperature Arctic air accumulated over Canada's tundra region, where snow cover is significantly thicker than the long-term average. As the jet stream pushes southward, the entire cold mass will surge into the Great Plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley, causing temperatures to drop 20-30 degree Celsius below seasonal averages. Some areas may record cold comparable to or even colder than the severe outbreak last February. The list of directly affected states extends from Montana, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, and into Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. In many areas, daily lows may fall near freezing, and strong northern winds will make conditions feel much colder than the thermometer suggests. Portions of the Great Lakes may see light snow or lake effect snow, particularly western Michigan and eastern Wisconsin. The combination of cold moisture from the lakes and strong winds often generates brief but intense snow bands, which, despite lasting only a few hours, are enough to make roads slippery and difficult to navigate. The cold air will then continue moving eastward, and by Black Friday, the entire Northeast, including New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, Maryland, and the Carolinas, will feel a noticeable temperature drop. Although the coastal cold will not be as intense as in the Midwest, it will still be surprising to many, especially since conditions in previous days have been relatively mild. Northern Florida may also feel slight effects from the cold front, with nighttime temperatures dropping below normal. To understand why the U.S. is facing such a strong late November cold outbreak, it is necessary to examine upper-level atmospheric structure. A deep central U.S. trough is forming, combined with a strong high-pressure ridge in the North Pacific. The presence of this ridge blocks warm air flows from the west and pushes Arctic air southward more forcefully. When these two large systems, trough and ridge, interact vertically, they create a strong channel, like a funnel, pulling cold air from the Arctic deep into the continental United States. This is a typical pattern for early season cold outbreaks, but this year, the amplitude is stronger than average because Canadian snow cover arrived earlier and thicker, making the overlying air mass colder than usual. In addition, strong upper-level winds act like a conveyor belt, transporting the cold air mass southward within a short period. In the next 7 to 10 days, extreme weather will appear in multiple forms. The Texas-Oklahoma storm system will produce heavy rain, strong winds, and hail. Thunderstorms may develop into supercells over western Texas in the late afternoon. Major urban areas such as Dallas-Fort Worth must remain alert to potential flash flooding as intense rainfall accumulates in a short time. As the storm moves into Tennessee and Kentucky on Friday, rain will continue, but tornado risk will decrease. Strong thunderstorms may still occur intermittently, creating slippery roads and reducing visibility. From Sunday to Monday, a new system offshore of California and Arizona will move inland with heavy rain and light snow in the Rockies. This is a sequence of consecutive atmospheric events, giving many regions in the U.S. almost no break between storm cycles. By Tuesday and Wednesday, snow will fall in North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, with expected totals of 1 to 3 inches. Although not enough to cripple transportation, frost and strong winds will be the main causes of hazardous driving conditions during rush hours. The most important event, as mentioned, is Thursday and Friday next week, when the Arctic outbreak fully arrives. Dry, cold air will cause temperatures to drop sharply within hours, particularly in Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana. Strong winds combined with low temperatures will create a harsh chill, catching many people off guard. Officials advise residents to prepare warm clothing, check heating systems, and limit outdoor travel during peak cold wind periods. In the first 5 days of the forecast period, most of the U.S. will experience relatively mild weather with temperatures above seasonal averages. However, beginning Friday, rapid changes will unfold. The Midwest will plunge into deep cold, the Great Plains will cool abruptly, and by the weekend, cold air will cover the entire East. Over the next 10 days, snow will fall mainly in the northern states in small amounts. But during the first week of December, heavier snow is expected across the Great Lakes and Midwest, significantly affecting road and air travel. Thanksgiving week is forecast to be one of the most challenging travel weeks in recent years. Severe storms in the south, snow and cold winds in the north, and the combination of rain, wind, deep cold in the east will create difficult travel conditions. Major airports such as Chicago, Minneapolis, Philadelphia, and New York may face delays or cancellations. Highways in central states may experience localized freezing due to nighttime frost. Residents in Texas and Oklahoma are advised to avoid driving through low-lying areas during periods of intense rainfall. In the Midwest, people should prepare warm clothing, check heating systems, and stock essential supplies. In the East, travelers should monitor flight schedules and prepare backup plans in case of weather disruptions. This is a time that requires careful preparation, especially for families planning to travel during the holiday. Dear viewers, the United States is entering one of its most complex weather phases since the start of autumn. Continuous monitoring and updating of information are extremely important. This concludes our report. Thank you for watching, and we wish you a safe week despite the unpredictable weather. If you found this report useful, we kindly invite you to continue following and accompanying us in upcoming broadcasts.